Just give us your thoughts on Oxford then, a little bit more of a different view. Obviously, you being a first team coach, manager, just give us his feel. But what's the kind of the reaction been after that game?
Listen, we keep saying it. It's frustrating because we feel like we dominated maybe 60 minutes of the game. But the problem is that when they're in the game at the minute, we're making errors and we're maybe giving them the goals at times. We're not making them work hard enough to score, which is probably our frustration. But listen, everyone's on board. Everyone understands that. Nobody's happy with it. The boys understand that. We work on it every day. We're trying our best to fix these issues, but they can't be fixed in one thing. They're not consistent. They're not the same person. They're not the setup of what we're doing. So it's a constant process. So many new players, so many new tactics. We've been unlucky with not being able to pick the same team quite a bit as well. So they're not excuses, but they're all things that are thrown into the pot. But if we play like we did for the 60 minutes against most teams, we should be fine. But yeah, we want to get back to winning ways as soon as we can.
Do you feel it's frustrating from your point of view that a lot of teams are not really playing through, or is it more kind of long balls or little bits of mistakes here and there that are probably avoidable?
Yeah, and I think the problem we have is that they're the hardest things for us to recreate. You can't recreate someone being tired at a corner in the 70th minute. You can't, because we do corners here, we do set pieces here on training ground, and everyone's concentrating, everyone knows their job, and they're in it for when they're in it. But 60, 70, 80 minutes into a game, or after a big attack, you come back almost to the corner and rest. You can't get away with resting, not in this division. You saw that with Oxford's first goal the other day. It's quality, and there's not much wrong with it, but there's quality. Overhead kick, it falls straight to their man, he scores. But saying that, we still show character. We still reacted. We still passed the ball, and that's what we're looking for. We're never going to be a long ball team. We're never going to be good at that. We're never going to play like some of the teams in the division. Hopefully, that's more entertaining. We haven't gone out to outscore teams, but ultimately, that's what we've tried to do in the last few games. But now we need to really look at it and think, do you know what? Close the door at the back, and these mistakes will start kind of lessening as we go. Surely, because they are individual errors which nobody is trying to do. And it's understandable that from time to time they just switch off.
Do you think that'll also come with a bit more of experience as we go on through the games in League One? Is obviously a long season. We've not been here before. That little bit of nous of this league really will start to come out, won't it? Yeah, and the big thing with it is that, as I said, we haven't been able to form too many partnerships. So you saw like Alfie was brilliant against, I think it was Burton. In a bad performance, Alfie was different class, but he comes up with a little knock. Arthur was brilliant in one of the last games. Shane was very good coming back into the team. But you can't pick the same team again. Obviously, with results not being as good, we look to try and find the right blend. The manager spoke about trying to find the right partnerships, trying to find the right balance between steel and ball playing. And it's a tough balance, because the easiest thing to do in the world is kick the ball long. Easiest thing to do is just play percentages, put the ball over the stand, don't worry about it. But we're getting praised and plaudits for the fact that we're trying to play football. We're trying to press the ball, we're organised, we're in a good unit. But it's very difficult to do that for 90 minutes. And the problem at the minute is that it sounds like an excuse, but we're getting caught when we switch off. And that's the level of league. A lot of these boys haven't played in League One that regularly, so it's going to happen from time to time. But if we can keep limiting that and keep playing the way we are, hopefully we'll come out on top more often than that. What's the dressing room be like, the atmosphere in there? Obviously, you don't get too down with results, you don't get too high with results. We've heard that from the gaffer many times this season, but the lads seem to still be on top of the world despite things not going as much as we'd like it to be.
Yeah, because it's like fans that look at us and think, well, this is an excuse from the management. It's not. The boys will feel the exact same. You speak to any of the lads, speak to Toombs, he's been around the block, he's played at big clubs and he's had very successful campaigns, and he would say this is one of the better teams he's played in. But they can feel it, they know we're close, they know we're very close to doing exactly what we want. I actually genuinely was speaking to one of the boys this morning, feel like once we get a win, we could go on a run, we could go on a real good run of just dominating teams, because we're playing some of the top teams and dominating the games. But it's small differences, and that's what it is, both boxes. Clinical on one side, which Cole and the boys have been, and then a little bit more clinical in defending. And it's some things like set pieces, throw-ins, silly things, second balls, first contact, second contact. We are repeating ourselves because they are the issues, but we are working on it. People have to believe us that we are not just oblivious to it. We're not kind of guys who don't look at ourselves and reflect on what we do. We ask the boys to do the same thing. If we make errors, we hold our hands up. If they make errors, we look for the same from them, and we're here to learn, to develop. We have a young squad, and we're working towards getting it right.
Games obviously coming thick and fast. Tuesday night in action against Cambridge United back at the Mazuma. How much are you looking forward to that one, and what kind of an opportunity does that create for us?
Yeah, brilliant. Listen, we've seen a lot of them recently. Harry's done watched a lot of footage, myself and the gaffer, and John have done a lot as well. So we know what to expect. They're a good side. Ironside gives them a good foil up the pitch. They're nice and solid. They're very good in set plays, very good late in the games as well. But again, they're beatable. Every team, it's a strange thing, every team in this division is beatable on their day. It's just who's more consistent, who limits the silly errors and the silly mistakes. But it'll be great to be back. We've had over 4,000 in pretty much every game, I think every game. So it's good. There's a nice buzz about the place and people are enjoying the product that we're giving them. Yes, we want to get more wins than we lose, but if we can go into Tuesday confident, which all the boys are, they're a close-knit group, although they're all new signings, most of them, they've really bonded, they really got together, and as I said, they're enjoying playing the style, they're enjoying playing here, they're enjoying the facilities here, they're enjoying everything they're going with playing in League One, but we just need a few more wins, and then we'll be, listen, we're not far away now at the minute, in terms of expectation. We maybe raised it at the start of the year with Ipswich and all these performances, but we have to look at our budget, look at realism and kind of expectations, and we're not far away.
They're exactly the same as us, aren't they? Obviously came up from League 2 last season, started off quite well, probably had a few dips here and there, but they're showing that at the same time, peaks and troughs, it can even itself out of a course of a season.
Yeah, and it's like mini leagues almost. Like you play 5 games, 10 games, and you think, you know what, we're flying for 10 games, but then straight away you maybe dip off in 3 or 4 and people think, oh, they're way off it. It's not. 46 league games, it's such a long season, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, so someone can start the season fantastic, but they need to maintain. They're the same, they may have been up and down. We started really well, we've had a tough patch now, but you look at our fixtures and think, you know what, it's understandable, they're playing top teams away from home, a tough run, injuries as well thrown into it, but everyone's going to have that, especially not the top teams with 30, 40 players in their squad and huge budgets. We know we're going to be up and down, we know we're going to be in games, but we haven't been blown away by anybody. We're competitive in every game we're in. Yeah, we could close the door at the back from time to time, but we've been entertaining, we've tried to play the right way, and we've made an impression on every team we've played.
How much are you enjoying life at Morecambe, obviously on a personal level? You've been in now a couple of months with the gaffer as well. It's a nice place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, no, fantastic. No, listen, I know the gaffer obviously quite well from Motherwell and from the IFA previously, but even working with John, obviously know Baz as a player as well, know Drummy and Wayne as players, but listen, the club's on the way up. We need to try and maintain that on the pitch, but everything's been fantastic. I think it's a fun place to come to work every day. I'm still learning. I'm young, I'm 34. I was joking saying I'm the same age as Toombs. I pretty much am, but it's one of them where we come to work, we try our best, we work our proverbials off and we try and get results, and listen, when we don't get them, nobody feels it more than us. Nobody puts more work into it on a Sunday or Saturday night than us, and from my point of view, it's a perfect place to learn and keep developing.
You just touched on it there, obviously being back home gives us the opportunity to get back in front of our own fans. Like you said, over 4,000 in the last few games, great numbers showing up every week. Yeah, and they've been so supportive. Like, I know the gaffer's touched on it, but it's a big thing. We have a lot of young players, a lot of players that haven't maybe played in front of big crowds, and when we maybe concede or we have a tough patch or someone gives the ball away, you don't hear what you traditionally would hear as the supporters getting on their back. Everyone's enjoying it, everyone's supportive. Yeah, listen, they get frustrated from time to time, but if we can all stay together, that'll give them the boost they need and maybe gets us over the line, turning a defeat into a draw or a draw into a win, and that's where we want to be. We want to keep pushing on, but they've been fantastic, and hopefully they keep coming out and keep supporting us, even when the weather's getting a little bit worse. I know the club are working hard to make it a very good environment as well for everybody, so hopefully we can bring the performance on Tuesday night.